Volume 2, Chapter 7 of The Female American, or The Adventures of Unca Eliza Winkfield. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 7. One of the company, terrified at Unca's appearance, runs to the ship and makes such a report to the crew that they refuse to take them on board. By this time the company, being pretty well satisfied that I was immortal, which at first they doubted of, came up to us and wished us joy on our unexpected happy meeting. We thanked them, and I assured them they need not be under any uneasiness, for that they were perfectly safe where they were, for however extraordinary what they had heard and seen might appear to them, the whole was the effect only of natural causes. They were too mannerly to contradict what I said, but I could easily perceive that they did not believe me. However, I left them to their suspicions for that time. My cousin now briefly informed me that one of the gentlemen in company, whom he called Captain Shore, the very day I was left on this island, took my ship and the captain of it prisoner, and had sent him to England to be tried. That Captain Shore, coming to England at my cousin's request, consented to bring him over in search of me, as he thought, from the account that the captain had given him, he could find the island, as he happily had. He added, the ship now lies at anchor on the part of the island behind the statue, or whatever it is, and if you please, I will conduct you on board, for by this time they will expect us to dinner, and I reckon are not a little uneasy about what may have befallen us, for I suppose our companion has made a dreadful report. I answered that I was entirely at his disposal for a few hours. For a few hours, returned he briskly. Why must my dear Unca and I ever part again? You talk strangely, and once more make me almost doubt the reality of what I see and hear. Yes, we must part for a little, answered I, but I will soon satisfy you on that head. But let us pass on. I attend you. As we walked along, I told him that I had come over on a visit to the island that morning, and that at night I was obliged to return back to the island on which I had lived about 2 years, or otherwise my friends there would be under great uneasiness at my absence. Thus we went on talking, till we came to the shore, when my cousin was greatly surprised at not seeing the boat. I ordered the boat, said he, to wait for me here, and though Mr. Locke in his fright might take it to go on board, he should have sent it back, and there has been time enough for its return. Upon which Captain Shore took a glass out of his pocket to look at the ship, which rode at anchor some distance off. Bless me, said he, of a sudden, what do I see? They are preparing to set sail. Sure the crew have not mutinied. He then called to them as loud as he could, and waved his handkerchief. He then said, they made a signal that they see me. In a little time after, he saw the boat coming. It soon appeared, but as it came near to the shore, the sailors, it seems, heard the music from the statue, as the wind blew directly off from the island. This, together with my tawny complexion and strange dress, so terrified them that they stopped rowing and would come no nearer, when one of the sailors said, Mr. Locke said right, this is certainly some enchanted island, and I would not row a stroke nearer if it was for the king. Nor I, for I hear the devil's bagpipes playing as loud as thunder. Aye, and don't you see that she-devil there wrapped in gold? I suppose she is the devil's wife, and this is their wedding day, which makes her so fine and have so much music. I don't fear all the devils in hell, for I am a good Catholic. I've crossed myself and prayed to St. Patrick, but the devil shan't catch me ashore for all that. I wish though I had her devil ship's crown, gold, and gown, I would go no more to sea. You fool, if you had them in your hand, they would all turn to dust. We were obliged to hear this strange dialogue before Captain Shore could put in a word. At last, with much ado, he made them hear him, but neither threats nor fair words could prevail upon them to come nearer the shore, whilst I stayed there. One of them said that Mr. Locke came on board in a terrible fright, and said he had seen a monster as tall as the moon, that it talked and sung louder than thunder, and that if he had not run away, a she-devil would have run away with him. And as one of our men was rowing him back, they said, they saw 100 devils fly away with you all into the air, whilst they saw a great devil playing upon the bagpipes, and he said that for that matter he played much better than he had ever heard a Scotchman in his life. We therefore called a council and had agreed to sail directly if Captain Shore had not called to us. As soon as the sailor had done talking, I told my cousin that I would leave them, that they might go on board their ship and try to undeceive the crew, and that I would meet him the next morning at the steps. My cousin was much concerned at this unexpected sudden separation, but it appeared absolutely necessary, and there was no time for deliberation, for the men threatened every moment to row back to the ship. End of chapter 7.